Okay, we are at the BW Design Summit, the seventh edition, and I have with me Mr. Dhruv Agarwal. He's the director of Stahl.
Namaskar.
They are trying to disrupt the kitchen design space, right? Broadly,
Ji,
is that
bilkul.
right? Right.
That is correct.
Right. And you spoke about what is good design. You had a keynote around it. But what I normally see, the kitchens in India are no longer those kitchens. They're already disrupted. What are you trying to disrupt further?
So let me put it in a way. The kitchen has definitely been disrupted over the last 10, 12 years. In the sense, real estate has brought the kitchen into the living room, whereas it was a corner in the house somewhere earlier. And I think with the advent of shows like a Master Chef, or you have a lot of cooking shows through COVID, people have started cooking. I think there is a huge space of food and food creation that is happening. Anything that a person does requires good tools. Tools that work well, they last long, and they feel good. And if these are designed well, it can actually convert your day-to-day chores, things that are painful. जैसे अगर खाना जल गया,
Right.
it can convert it into a moment of pleasure. If I can clean the cookware easily, I'm more likely to create more food. Yeah, if the kid is, let's say, running in the morning and I need to create a dabba and my food is burning and the whistle is going off, it's a cause of stress. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to recreate or redesign the products that fundamentally work a lot better, keeping the customer in the center, understanding their day to day, and then designing and engineering great products that they fall in love with, that makes these friction of every day into rituals that people can really enjoy.
Right.
If I may take a second, an example is I know of someone who would want to cook breakfast for their child and hated the kitchen. And she has now been able to, because of one of our pans, make an egg every morning. And she's fallen in love with it. And it's a thing that her and her son do every single morning before he goes for school. So it's their me time. So it's become a ritual from something that was
chore
painful.
to
Yeah.
something which
Yeah.
they really enjoy.
And that, I think, is a disruption that we're trying to bring in.
So at Stall, what are those elements that you spoke about this one thing? What are the other things that you are bringing into the kitchen to make it a more interesting space?
So we look at the kitchen as a journey. It starts with preparation. It goes to conversion, which is the cookware. The preparation would be the knives and the other tools. It goes to serving, and then it goes to storage. And every single cook goes through these journeys. What we're trying to see is we've been able to disrupt the cookware space a little bit through materials and through science. We've now entered the area of knives, where we are playing around with really, really high-end knives at very good prices that help people prepare faster. We will move into serving. We will move into storage. We'll do this by understanding the pain points that we have in the Indian kitchen. The challenge is that the Indian food is very, very different than anywhere else. Abroad, they use a lot of baking, they use a lot of sauteing. यहाँ पे आप तड़का भी डाल रहे हो, प्रेशर कुकर का सीटी भी बज रहा है, रोटी भी बन रही है.
Multitasking.
So you have to multitask.
Right.
So what we're trying to see is how do we make or find products, find cookware, find other things that kind of make this task a lot simpler.
If you look at globally in terms of the design language of kitchens, is the India story changing? Are we gradually moving towards anything that is very optimal in terms of design?
I think Indian design aesthetics are very unique, as is our food. And what I mean by that is globally there has been some amount of work in the kitchen that has been done from a design perspective, from a functionality perspective. But nobody brought that to India. We cook in a kadhai, we cook in a pressure cooker, we cook on a tawa. And nobody has actually looked at these three things till about 10 years ago, till we started looking at it. The kitchen, like I said earlier, is entering the living space, which means that you can no longer put dirty cookware in one corner and leave a dirty kitchen. So there is a lot of disruption happening. We have our own aesthetics, we have our own styles of cooking, which cannot be changed. And I think companies like us, there are certain others who are looking at the Indian consumer, and it's a large quantum of consumers. I mean, we are present today in more than 25 lakh households in the country, and we are a relatively new brand. We've been able to do that simply because I think we've understood the balance of design and functionality. And one has to understand good materials and good engineering. It should be effortless.
What is next for Stahl in terms of market expansion and brand recall, brand building over the next couple of years?
Now, I appreciate the question. We are in the process of actually taking our designs and our Indian kitchen global. We're already present in almost about 15 countries outside India with our own brand. We stand for an ultra premium experience at premium price points. So we've not positioned ourselves as the cheaper option, but as an option that actually gives extreme value to the people. We focus first on countries that have strong Indian diaspora, but we're also moving, we're seeing a lot of the other nationalities
Indians,
beyond that. For example, Hispanics have a very similar cooking style to us. Asians have a very similar cooking style to us. So we're seeing that for sure. From a marketing and advertising perspective, we've grown as a brand principally through word of mouth till about 3 or 4 years ago. We've actually not invested much in marketing. And I think that speaks for the product where people speak to each other. Right. What we are doing now is, I think we need to talk or create a pride for a person where they indulge in themselves. We've seen a lot of our customers value convenience and they value me time. So if I may put it, I don't think any of us here talks about which soap we use, but everyone has a particular brand. Cookware is similar. It doesn't necessarily come to the front, but it is investing in yourself. And we are telling people that it is something that they spend almost on an average more than 90 minutes doing for themselves.
Basis, yeah.
And they should feel good about it. They should invest. And that's what our focus on advertising, branding, etc., whatever we will do is around that.
Right.
But if I may, at the core, if you make a great product and it works well, people will tell each other about it. That's our belief.
That's the best marketing line, right? Thank you, Dhruv.
Thank you. I'm very, very grateful for the time.